Your thoughts about John Lynch coming out of nowhere and getting the GM job.
Shocking.
6 years. 6 years. He's going to be, I guess, on top of the draft. He's also going to be required. I guess he's going to be the 90-man roster builder. And then Kyle Shanahan will take over there from the 53-man roster and all that other stuff.
So I talked to Jed York, the CEO of the Niners, and this is all about trying to hit a home run instead of trying to hit a ground rule double. That's what it comes down to. Jed York believes that the marriage, I've always believed this, Boomer, for the longest time, that when there are these arranged marriages between a coach and a general manager, a coach shows up and they say, hey, here's the general manager. Here's the two most important people in a franchise other than the quarterback. Here's the two most important people, and they barely know each other.
Well, it's kind of like the Jets.
Yeah.
And plus you have two guys. There's not really a boss. And they're both bringing it to the owner, which doesn't really make much sense to me. But how is this structure going to work out? Who is the boss of who in this situation?
At the end of the day, you said it right. I mean, John Lynch is going to make the decisions on draft day. Kyle Shanahan is going to make the decisions on the roster. But I think the reason why I think John Lynch has a chance, I've always thought this about him, and I know him well. He knows what he doesn't know. He's not going in there ordering people around. He's going in there saying, hey, take me under your wing and tell me how to scout.
Now, is he hiring the people to support him, like the Mark Dominics of the world, the former GMs?
He is going to, yes.
He's the guy that's
going to
responsible
figure
for that.
out, he's going to figure out which of the current scouts on the staff, like, for instance, they have a guy there named Tom Gamble, who is Chip Kelly's guy. And Tom Gamble, widely respected.
The guy from Philadelphia.
Yeah, widely respected in the scouting community. Jed York hopes that they get along to the point that he becomes I'll take you under my wing, John, and I'm going to teach you this.
Well, that'd be like having Al Dukes make all decisions for the fans.
The interesting thing, because I was talking to Phil Simms about this yesterday. You know, Phil's a broadcaster, there every day. You know, Simms. Right, exactly. So, but, you know, he would be a guy that you would think that may love to do something like that, be involved in some way, shape, or form like that. My thing would be like, what you want what Brendan Shanahan has for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They hired
Lou Lamoriello.
Well, they hired Brendan as the face and the president of the franchise. They said to him, you're going to go out and you're going to hire the coach and the general manager. He convinces Babcock to leave Detroit, come run the Maple Leafs, and then he convinces Lou Lamoriello, I believe, to come out of retirement or maybe just leave the Devils and come run from a general manager standpoint and a player standpoint the Toronto Maple Leafs. And now Brendan Shanahan is insulated because he's made those decisions, bringing two Hall of Famers, young team, trade away some assets, bring some young kids in there, and Brendan Shanahan's done an unbelievable job. But he's not the guy that's running around looking at all the other guys in the underwear.
Well, in John Elway, here's the thing. John Elway does not go scout in Ames, Iowa on a Thursday night to see about the fifth-round tight end. That's Tom Heckert. That's Matt Russell. That's the Denver guys. He has made his sort of team.
I'm kind of surprised that Jed York didn't go to an ex-49er in this situation, like a Steve Young or somebody. I'm not sure that Steve would want that job or anything, but it's kind of interesting that he took a player. Now, John may have a great weekend this weekend. He may be named to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. You would know better than I would. But the fact is that he went and hired a guy that played for Mike Shanahan.
Right.
So Kyle knows him from those days, I'm sure.
Very well.
It's kind of an interesting situation.
Yeah, very interesting.